My name is Mander. I work with survivors of communal violence. I work with homeless people, street children, people living with hunger.
You're into so many things in terms of displaced people, victims of violence. What's at the core of it? What's the core cause?
I think the core cause is people who suffer extreme injustice, whether due to violence, hate violence, whether due to extreme economic disadvantage or social discrimination. So people at the margins of our society, ensuring a life of dignity and equality for them in diverse ways is what binds together the work that I do.
What are the challenges you face? It's clearly not a very easy thing to do.
We're living in times, I think the major challenge is that we're living in times where some of the basic ideas of equality and justice and also of pluralism, all of these are deeply contested ideas in the times that we live in. And much of my work is both on the ground with people affected by hunger and homelessness and hate violence, but also at the level of ideas and teaching and speaking and writing about all of these. The big challenge is that the basic paradigm of a caring society seems to have got lost along the way. Noam Chomsky has said that the idea of social protection is basically the idea that we need to take care of each other, and it's an idea which he says in today's times is considered a very subversive idea which needs to be crushed at all costs. So it is that idea, the reclaiming of that idea, and we can use different language, but we've been hearing about two fundamental characteristics of India's constitution, the socialist and secular, which are being challenged. And basically these are ideas so fundamental to the idea of India. On the one hand, the socialist idea is basically an idea in which society is responsible for its vulnerable citizens, and we cannot leave it all to markets. And so the state needs to provide basic social protection, a floor of dignity to all people. So that's something that I battle for. And the other is the idea of secularism or pluralism, which basically is the idea that India is a country where it should not matter which god you worship, or if you worship no god, whether you speak this language, that ethnicity, this caste, this gender, you are completely, fully an equal Indian, equal citizen, and that the state will give you protection to be yourself and give you equal chances to develop and grow. These are ideas that are so core to the idea of India and of a humane world, and these are the ideas that are so threatened in today's time. So obviously battling for these ideas. So whether I was also part of the National Advisory Council, so within that the writing of the food security bill or the criminal violence bill, the land acquisition bill, things like this. In each of these, the debates about what kind of state do we really believe in, these are contested issues and important issues to battle. And I feel that both at the level of state action, but also in society and among young people, we need to rekindle these debates. That do we still want to live in a country where just the accident of where you are born will determine what your life chances are, whether you can go to school at all, how long you'll be able to study, what kind of education you'll get, what kind of healthcare you will be able to access, what kind of house you'll be able to live in, what kind of jobs you'll be able to do in the future. We continue to live in a society where children are not getting the chance to develop according to their potential, but still by the privilege of their birth. And so that's really the challenge of our work.
So while in the space, what is it you found? What are your insights in terms of what would unlock this change? Like you said, it's a very heavily threatened
idea.
What would create or cause that change?
when I was growing up, I was born 1955, so it was soon after India became free, and there was a certain idealism and the ideas of social equality and communal harmony and all were very important ideas. We seem to have lost our way, and especially my own generation, I think, in terms of how we are communicating these ideas to young people. So I think that India is a country in which every second person is below the age of 25. Never in history have there been so many young people together in one place, and probably never in future will there be. And it is, my hope also lies in young people, and I hope that they reclaim some of these ideas and reclaim an India and a world where we care about people who suffer. Things like, you might talk about hunger. Say every second child in India continues to be malnourished despite being the second fastest growing economy in the world. How long are we going to tolerate a situation? Second child being malnourished means their bodies and brains are not being allowed to form to full potential. The ACER report shows how even the kids who are going to school, what kind of chances they have. But even more so, only 7% young people are able to complete college. They are the only ones who can even aspire of any kind of college and higher education. And among girls it is 4%. In rural areas it is less than 2%. So I think the unlocking would be to create a society where at least basic quality education, healthcare is ensured to all. Nothing short of that can make this change.
Okay. So how has your experience been in GAP? What were you expecting? What did you find?
I came to GAP largely because Sumeer and Sunil, I met Sumeer I've known longer. I just value the kind, caring people, and they have a dream. And so when they said, please come, I came really not very clear about what's going to happen. They called us a group of mentors, and all of us in different ways questioned whether that was inappropriate and whether we were eligible, at least myself, for that title. But I think that if anything, we were mentored by the young people we saw with idealism and dreams. So I think that the mentoring that I received made it worthwhile.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.